Baseball, baseball. I'm there today with Steve Romano. Hey, Steve, what's going on? Let's talk
Hey,
about Steve and I were just in a head-to-head draft, weren't we?
we did. We did a head-to-head draft that you invited me to join in a few years ago, and I've enjoyed it. I like it.
Yeah, it's fun. It's your first foray into head-to-head competition, and it was a fun draft. There were 14 teams this year, though. And Steve, one thing I figured out: 14 teams. They had, I think, 22 players. That's 300. That's over the amount that we have in our big money roto draft that we do in Vegas. So I was like, oh, we use the same amount of players in that draft. Oh,
Yeah,
more. Yeah, it was great. So
you
tell
wouldn't
me,
think so because of the
yes,
shorter, the standard rosters. There's no middle infield, corner infield. There's only three outfielders, one catcher, all that. But with all the teams, I mean,
yeah,
four more fucking teams. Yeah, there's actually more
14.
players.
14's a lot. 12 is obviously doable and preferred. So tell me about your draft and what you thought. Now, you were busy while we drafted, I know, and you were able to get it in. Let's take a look at your team real quick, shall we? Your team's name is, of course, the Big Time Taters.
Big time taters.
Um, yeah, let's talk about the draft, actually, in order. How about that real
Yeah,
quick?
yeah, because I had an idea of some guys I wanted, and I was prepared to take them by like pre-draft rankings, like, oh, I'm going to take that guy 8 picks ahead of where he's ranked, or
Right.
maybe this guy 11 picks ahead of where he's ranked. And then a few of them were taken 17 picks ahead of their ranking. So I missed out on some guys that I had in my queue, and and it left me scrambling a bit a few times.
A few times I scrambled also, and it's true, the snake draft is such a different creature than the roto. Uh,
Yeah, you're like, if you want someone, you just got to fucking take them. But it's so hard when you're looking at it in front of you to take someone in the fifth round when they're projected as an eighth round player, you
y-
know?
yeah, and I took a few people early because I wanted them, but also I was conscious that I didn't want to show my hand to you too much for the Vegas draft.
Sure.
I'm serious. Shohei Ohtani was the first pick, then Bobby Witt Jr., Aaron Judge, Jose Ramirez, Elly De La Cruz, Mookie Betts, seventh, and Vladimir Guerrero, eighth, Kyle Tucker, ninth, Juan Soto made it to ninth.
Yeah.
I was surprised about that. You picked Mookie Betts at six.
I mean, I didn't want Guerrero. I just wanted a five tool guy. I
Right.
wanted a five tool guy. I could
So,
have went with Tucker.
yeah, or Soto.
No, because Soto's doesn't give you stolen bases. He's a four tool guy.
He is a four tool guy, but he's like top percent of all four of those tools.
Sure, yes, he is.
Yeah, so I mean, I dig you. How many stolen bases did Juan Soto have last year without looking, Steve?
Nine?
Seven, very close.
I think
Seven. You gave him
seven.
the benefit of the doubt. He's even worse than you thought. So you picked Betts. No worry about Mookie being sick or anything. No, he's fine.
I mean, it sucks that these
He
first
lost
two games
15
he's like,
pounds. I heard he lost 15
yeah.
pounds.
This,
Yeah,
but no, for me in that first round, the guys I was looking at in this type of format were like Betts,
yeah,
Tucker, and Gunnar Henderson. Those were really the only guys on my target, and
yeah. And
actually, I mean,
Henderson went. Yeah, Henderson went a few later, um,
12th.
12th. So at
Well,
10th we
I
had.
was really at
Yeah.
five. I was pumped to take. I was going to take Ellie De La Cruz, to be fucking
Oh,
honest
you.
about it.
So you were sitting there after four picks, going, "I got him. I got him."
Yeah, and then he took him, and I was like, oh, that's what I took Mookie.
That's the beautiful thing about the snake draft. I mean, it's a horrible moment. It's a beautiful thing. You're like, I got him. Like, oh, you took him right underneath me. Um, so next, after Soto with 10th, Lindor, 11th, Tatis, 12th, Henderson, as you said, Jordan Alvarez, 13th, and Julio Rodriguez, 14th to finish off the first round. I took Lindor at 10th.
Lindor.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
like you were saying, I had a choice between Lindor, Tatis, Henderson, Alvarez, Rodriguez, for the next few picks. And it was between him and Henderson. And I think Lindor has found a very comfortable place, and I think he's going to be in a good team this year. So I went with Lindor.
Definitely more dependable, that's for sure.
He's more dependable, and those stolen bases. I mean, he was 33-29 last year, batting 273, 33
Hmm,
home runs. I
okay.
mean, yeah, it's just I looked at it, I'm just like, yeah, I want that, and he's going to do that probably for sure.
I'll be honest, I didn't know he had that many stolen bases.
Yeah, dude. He had 29 stolen bases. Beautiful thing. So he just missed 30-30. So that was the first round. Interesting round. And then the next round I chose before you, Churio, Turner, Harper, Skeens, and then I picked Duran because, I tried to get a few of the guys I have on my real team.
Duran,
I took him in
I
19.
mean, on one hand, you're like, that's kind of early, right? But then
It
when you
is.
look at all the guys after him, you're like, it isn't that early,
That's a
right?
really
Maybe
good point.
5 or 6.
Yeah, look, yeah, I could have picked Carroll or Jazz, Freeman, Merrill, Devers, Riley, Olson, Scooble, Wheeler, Scooble. Sorry, I can't help it every time I read that name. Um, but I agree with you. It was a little early, but I like him. I have him. I think he's good. Your next pick was Jackson Merrill. That surprised me at two.
That was a scramble because I had Jazz Chisholm in my fucking queue, and I
Again,
was
somebody
already,
got you two before,
yeah,
Jazz and then Freddie. Wow.
and I was like, oh yes, like I really wanted that, and then yeah, it didn't, and then I was just looking around, and I mean, I didn't want Devers or Riley or Olson. I wasn't looking for that type of hitter. I wanted something a little more well-rounded again. And as I started looking down the list, I was like, fuck me, I'm not, I guess I'm taking fucking the kid from San Diego, right? I guess I am.
I was
That's a fucking
surprised.
risk. That could be a bad pick for sure.
Um,
We'll
what
see.
what the last year he batted 292, 24 homers, 16 stolen bases, 90 ribbies, 77. I mean, that's a great start to a career. You're thinking, yeah,
Well, and he
absolutely.
had a terrible first, what,
Yeah.
6 weeks maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. Horrible first 6 weeks. He's
So he was
learning.
awesome.
He's awesome. So I think it's a roll of the dice, but I like that roll of the dice. And then it was
Mm.
Devers, Riley, Olson, Skubal, and Wheeler to finish out round two. Let's just go a couple more rounds and go into our teams. Gilbert, start the third round. Manny Machado, Marte, Harris, Alonso, and then you picked
Garrett Crochet as
at
the homer pick.
34.
My first
Uh-huh.
my first pitcher, and I didn't really want to take a pitcher then. Actually, I absolutely did not want to take a pitcher then, but I had Pete Alonso in my queue, and someone took him right before me.
Again, look at that! Right before the that's hilarious. Your last three picks are right before, two before, and right before, and so that's
So
fun.
yeah, so my first 3 rounds were not the guys I was targeting that I had ready to go, and I had my finger on the mouse ready to click draft, and then they were taken. So, and then after that, I mean, I wanted a hitter, but this is when all the pitchers start popping up in the pre-rankings. So I don't know. I guess I could have taken a roll the dice with Acuna,
Well,
but I'm like,
yeah.
Albies, Seager, Teoscar Hernandez, C.J. Abrams. I don't want none of those guys,
None
really.
of those
So
guys. I get it. It's a homer pick, but he's got a big upside, and he could be a top three pitcher.
yeah,
Acuna was picked next, 35.
yep.
Then Rooker and Burns. Then I took Cole Ragans at 38 because he's once again a guy on my I call it my real team, my keeper team, my roto team, who's best in Vegas. I took him 38, and I think I even said to you, I had like somebody else lined up. I was thinking I needed power. I had Schwarber lined up, to be honest with you.
Mm,
I know. Well, it head to head, it's different. I mean, in
yeah.
head to head, having a someone, with a low average doesn't hurt as much
Oh
week
yeah.
week to
Not
week,
at
especially
all.
not at all. So it is a totally different format. But I went with pitching because I love having strong pitching. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, you can just pick up anybody," especially in head-to-head format, actually. But I like having a couple studs at least. I just do. As you saw, I kept three in the keeper league. Then to finish out the
Yeah.
third round, Albies, Sale, Yamamoto, and Seager went 42nd. And then we'll just finish with the fourth round of Blake Snell, Teoscar, Hernandez. There was Schwarber. I was thinking to get back to me two right before. I'm like, oh, I'm going to end up trading Schwarber, right? No, CJ Abrams. And then I took Ozuna because I looked at what he did last year and went, fuck.
Well, not only that, but in Yahoo, he has outfield eligibility.
He, ha- he has outfield eligibility in Draft Masters.
No, he does not.
I swear to Buddha. I looked it up the other day. I'm going to go there right now and check it out. I'm telling you, he does. You probably beat me there.
How? I'm not. He didn't. He didn't play a fucking game in the outfield last year. How the fuck could he do that?
I thought I saw this.
If he did, I'm gonna fucking cry.
Nope. I guess I am mistaken. It was just Yahoo I saw. I could. No.
Okay, good.
There it is. Nope. It's not. Never mind.
Yeah. Okay, that's better.
Yeah, he has outfield eligibility. So I took him there because I thought it was a no-brainer.
Yeah. Sure. He's great actually up in the fourth round with outfield eligibility. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's a
That's a
guy you didn't keep. You decided not to.
because of his utility only eligibility.
Absolutely, absolutely. You see how excited I got you when I lied that I thought he was outfield. It was very exciting for a moment, and then after that, to finish out the fourth round, Place, a reliever, taken in the fourth round with a head-to-head draft, really saves, not sold, but still Place at 48, Santander 49, O'Neill Cruz at 50, Altuve, Williams, the pitcher, relief pitcher Contreras. Langford, Cease, and DeGrom finishing it up the fourth round. Look at those guys. A lot of pitchers want those last couple rounds.
Yeah. That one I was happy. Like I had Altuve ready and he got to me and I was like, yes, thank you. I wanted him.
I like Altuve, and as we discussed before, that you have him in your keeper league, that he's going to be left field second base,
Yeah.
and that's always nice, especially in head to head. Like I always make sure my bench covers every position because if someone has an off day or whatever, I want to make sure I got someone in there. Um,
So go
Go to your team
let
now.
yeah, let's go over our two teams and then move on from this league.
Absolutely. This league is so not important. You know, it is an active league. They've been together for 20 some years. You've been in the last few years. I've been in this league for over a decade. So it is fun. Everybody is active. So you got Betts, Merrill, Croquet, and Altuve, as we said. Then you had Bellinger, which is a nice pick at five, I thought.
Yeah, I like that Bellinger
Yeah,
pick,
absolutely.
actually.
First base outfield. Nola, Berger, first base, third base. Contreras, catcher, Cruz, Volpe, Jason Dominguez, Pete Fairbanks, Finnegan, Ryan. How do you say his name? Pepio?
Yeah, Pepio, I think.
Pepio. We'll go with that. Hendricks, Trevor Story, Liam. Went with Liam Hendricks, not having a good spring. Story, another Boston. You got a few Boston players here. Conforto, McCarthy. In the end, you just lined people up. I think you had to go early. Conforto, McCarthy, Gavin Williams, Jeffrey Springs, Herrera as second last pick is nice, and even Colt Keith is a decent last pick.
Yeah, I'm fine with the way all my auto picks happened after I had to leave. I got pretty much all my queue, but no, I can take that back. I didn't have Jeffrey Springs,
Yeah.
Colt Keith, or Herrera.
Oh, well, those are some of your better picks.
Thanks.
I'm
Yeah,
just
I know.
saying.
I do. I do think last year after the draft in this league, I remember being like, "Oh, I like my team," and I made it into the playoffs, so that was good. And but this year, I'm kind of like, I don't know. After getting fucked those first three rounds, it was just I felt like I was playing catch up the whole rest of the draft.
It was tough, and it was, and I feel what you're saying. My team is okay now in this league. I have won the last 2 years, going for a three-peat this year.
You have?
I have won the last 2 years. I am the champion the last 2 years in a row. Correct, sir.
Wow.
So, so I'm going for my three-peat this year. My team's okay. I got Lindor as my first pick, who I like. Duran, Reagans, Ozuna, as we went over. Then I got Peralta. I like Freddie Peralta. High strikeouts. Once again, head to head, I'm not worried about his high ERA as much. Bregman, Hunter Brown, Mike Trout, JT Realmuto, Bohm at 10, Louis Garcia Jr. at 11, Langoliers at 12. I just like saying his name. Parades? Is it Paredes? Parades?
Yeah, Paredes.
Paredes. Soler, Rafaela, Bradley, Puck, Robles, Hodge, Holmes, Cano, and Piamps. And I've already released Piamps. I don't know if you saw I did that. I picked up Manzardo.
I am looking at your team. I had Bregman in my queue, and I was ready to take him like 11 picks ahead of his ranking, and then you fucking took him
Fuck yeah.
like
I wanted him.
14 picks ahead of his rating.
You know, I got once the first few rounds went, I was like, I just want to get people I want for the positions I need.
Yep.
And then so after Peralta at 5, I looked at all the third basemen left, and I was like, I like Bregman as much, if not more than anybody there. And
Yeah.
he's gonna hit the ball off that wall a lot. I was happy with my Bregman pick. My pitching's shaky but good. Solera's always a roll of the dice, but he's playing for the Angels, so that sucks. Um, and I got no relievers. I punted saves, and you can do that in a head-to-head. It's not
I I
advisable.
only took two, right? One and a third. I took Fairbanks and fucking Liam Hendricks.
Wow.
I kind of snoozed on that, thinking I could catch someone late, and next thing you know, I was like, "Oh, there's fucking nobody." So I fucked that.
Liam Hendricks is having a horrible spring, and Chapman's having a bad spring, and they're both kind of not healthy, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't know what's. I don't know what they're gonna do with that. To be quite frank.
Well, I know the Red Sox have some hope to be decent, don't they?
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So they'll have to
and I think
resolve
they've
that.
got. I think they've got actually quality relief depth.
What's that one guy's name? Slayton or something like that, I think?
Yeah, he was all right.
Yeah. I think he may
So,
get some opportunities.
but looking at your team real quick, moving on, I'd really like. I mean, because now I'm looking at your team page. Catcher first.
Yeah, yeah.
Alex Bowman is at first right now. Luis Garcia at second. But then Bregman, Lindor, Duran, Ozuna, Trout. That's pretty tasty right there, dude.
Tasty. Tasty. And then
That's not bad.
and then they got Realmuto as like a backup catcher, or at least whatever, 50-50 with Langoliers.
Why? Oh, well, why was Real Muto? Oh, Real Muto and Langoliers were pre-ranked like within like six of each other. 143 and or 142 and 149.
Yeah, that
Seven.
was that was surprising to me because Langoliers had such a more power last year with 29
He,
homers and 80 ribbies, but he did back 224, and I don't know the exact system how they figure it out. Um, but
and he,
Romuto is going to hit 260, 270, for sure, but
for
only have
sure.
14 to 15 homers.
I don't
And
know.
he only had 380 at bats last year too, Romuto. So
Right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. He missed some time.
he missed some time. So, but one thing I like about my team before we move on is I got coverage at everything. Paredes plays first and third. Rafaela plays second, short, and outfield. Manzardo plays first. Robles. I like Robles as an extra pick, as I put that out there. It's no secret. Guy could, if he plays well enough, he's easy 30 plus stolen bases.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So I like my bench. I'm glad you like my team.